Welcome to Talks with Sheba, the place where real people give real answers on issues plaguing our community today. Hi, I'm your host, Dr. Sheba Holly. Thanks for joining us on this marvelous Monday. We aim to invite, excite, educate, and empower. So let's talk. Let's talk about collaborative solutions for communities. We have here today Penelope Griffith, who is out there making it happen, transforming communities, because we need to be a family again. We are missing that. So let's see what CSC is doing for us.
Thank you.
In the face of adversity, I prepared a verse to see, or hear rather.
I don't just got a vision just laying back, oh, I believe this is going to happen, so I'm way too hungry. No, I got a vision, and I'm going to go get that vision.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's no such thing as a backup plan when you really have faith and you really...
Okay. What is the one thing that you're proud of?
Breathing. Breathing and living.
That's what.
The same thing, breathing and living. There's a lot of people that ain't wake up yesterday. So I'm blessed I'm waking up, you know. Some people mad about not having a job. I'm happy about waking up. And I'm just happy about our lives. But at the same time, still messed up out here, everything not perfect.
My decision making, probably my leadership. Because a lot of people look at me like I'm a leader. Not like I don't want to like boost myself up or not.
No, that's okay.
But a lot of people look at me like I'm a leader. And I'm a good friend, loyal. So those little small characteristics, that's what I'm most proud of. Like how other people portray me. And it's good, it's in a good way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit about your goal. What do you see inside school? What's your goal? Good college. For what? For law? For real? Wait a minute, girl. Wait a minute. I gotta give you a hug for that one, girl. Good luck. You gonna do, huh? You gonna be a lawyer? Yeah. That's right. I believe in you. Okay.
I want to be my own boss. I'd rather own my own business. So now I'm kind of like trying to get into the flipping houses business. I'd probably say, be honest, I'd probably say maybe a 8.
So what needs to happen for you to get to an 8.5?
Just to get myself a little more. I'd probably say a little more research, read up on it a little more.
What's the next step?
I guess the know more to a T. Just more information. You know, the more information you got, the better you are.
It seemed like you're a good father. I saw you with your son earlier.
Yeah.
You're very observant of him, and it seemed like you spend a lot of time.
Yeah, you gotta be. Like our generation, we ain't really have our fathers like that around that much. So I'm just trying to give him what I didn't have, like when I was young.
Ooh, that's what this lady right here is doing in our community. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sheba, for having me on your show.
Oh, not a problem. You need to be on every show. You need to be on television every night because this is something that's going on in every neighborhood, every community across the country, and actually overseas too.
Yes.
But we're going to keep it home for now.
Yes.
And I just want you to give an overview of what CSC is all about.
Okay. Collaborative Solutions for Communities actually started in 1996, formerly known as Columbia High Shore Family Support Collaborative. And then we changed our name recently because we wanted to represent where we're going. We're not just neighborhood-based. We are local, national, international in the work that we do. One of our specialties, we have many programs at the Collaboratives right now. Mm-hmm. We have a truancy program. We have the youth violence prevention program, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Mm-hmm. And then we have a workforce development program, putting people who are hard to place in employment, who are coming out of jail, putting them to work so that they'll have income for them and their families. And we also have a parenting program that we operate at the collaborative. So there's a lot of good things happening, and the work that we do is very 360 and holistic in the sense that we look at the entire family and how can we better serve the family. And so tonight I wanted to talk with you about our youth violence prevention work because that's what we're most proud of in the work that we do in our community. So
yeah, so I mean, you're in the community, and I want to say, put this out there, that you're actually inside the schools.
yes.
And that is a big problem here in DC with the various gangs that we have. How did you get in there? When did you see that, okay, we need to do this work?
Yes. So it started with my predecessor who was before me. They started the gang violence work, doing the work in Ward 1. We had a high incident of gang-related activities in the Ward 1 area that just spiraled out of control for a number of years. And then finally the local law enforcement paid attention to what was taking place when a bus driver got shot. And then I think Chief Ramsey at that time decided, okay, we need a task force to make sure that this need to curtail the violence. So the community and the collaboratives and the schools and the law enforcement, we all got together and said enough is enough, and there's a way to stop this. And violence, as we say in our work, is preventable.
Right.
Violence can be prevented. Families can be taught how to keep their kids safe. Kids can be taught how to keep themselves safe. And teachers can be taught as well how to help keep kids safe as well. And so we realized it's a community responsibility. As a collaborative, we could not have done this by ourselves. We had the entire community around us, so we believe it's preventable, and we call it the 3 Ps.
Okay.
We also believe in looking at the big picture, like what's causing this? What is the reaction from? What's leading to this problem? Why all of a sudden there's an uprise in the violence in this particular neighborhood? What's going on within this particular school that is an increase in violence? So we look at the causes and the root cause of what's going on. And then the other thing we look at is how do we get our partners to come to the table and say, you know, we are the solution with families to the community issues. So how do we get our partners to take responsibility and to also see back trust in the neighborhood? How do we get the local vendors to say, okay, this is not acceptable? We need to make sure our kids feel safe and our families feel safe. So with the 3 Ps is violence is preventable, and we look at the big picture as well as bringing partners together to help solve the problem in our neighborhoods.
So how receptive are the schools in general?
Well, when we started initially, it was a challenge because, coming in and saying that we want to help, who wants to let you into their own personal business and into your private home of what's going on? And that's not easy. So we had to earn the trust of our principals in the school. So the one of the schools we work with the longest is was used to call Bell. Now it's Columbia High Education Campus. Dr. Tukeva is, I should say, she's one of the most supportive person of the work that we do around youth violence. And because of her, I think we have a lot of good success and a lot of stories that comes out of this work that we do at the school. And so, and then we have branched out to other schools, to Wilson in the past, to Roosevelt, and to Cardozo. We've worked with those schools. And now we're not only working in Ward 1. We have our work extend across the city in Ward 7. And so one of the vision of the collaborative was to create a community approach to youth violence, well, a DC-wide approach to youth violence. Okay. And so let's get on the same page. Let's have an understanding of what it means to curtail the violence and the fact that we believe violence is preventable. How do we move an entire city? Well, as a small organization, you really can't move an entire city unless everybody's on board to do that, right? So we've tried to spread our wings by helping to train other partners about what we do and encourage them to learn what we do and to provide coaching and support to them so that they will do more of what's working for that particular community. We don't need to be in every community. But if we can train other organizations in those communities to do what we do, then we have a wonderful system approach to this work in DC. So we're in Ward 7 right now, and we're working in the 601, 602, and 608 area right now. So we're excited about the work that we're doing there. We of course, as I said to you at the beginning, we're just not local. We're national in what we do. We have partners across the community, across the United States, and we have also done a number of training in Europe in the last few years around gang violence. There are gangs in Europe.
I'm sure.
And so we have talked about using our work, and then one of the things that we do is use our work in a way of providing co-services so that people can do it It's not unattainable. It's something that you can do, but you have to want to learn what we do and be able to implement it.
So could you give just an outline so the audience is very clear on your approach to youth violence?
So we have what you call core areas of the practice work that we do, and we coin the violence prevention work as the Gang Violence Intervention Partnership. So GIP. Right, so GIP is made up of using solution-focused approach to the work. What that basically means is that solution-focused brief therapy isn't a therapeutic approach that people use in therapy. But I learned from my mentor Insu Kimber that I can apply solution-focus in case management. I could apply it in mediation. I could apply it anywhere I want to, because it's such a wonderful approach, because it's all about open-ended questions. And when you ask the right question, you get the information that you need. And it's a very strengths-based approach to working with people. And so if you have a mediation issue going on, a conflict issue going on between two kids, and you ask them, what would a truce look like, right? Or what would peace look like? Or what does safety look like? When they could describe to you what safety look like, then you build on that and say, so if you were safe, how would you know that this is working, that your partner is going to, things like that. So that's what Solution Focus is about. And then we have a national outreach certification program. Every outreach worker and case manager must go through a rigorous 9 days of training with one of our colleagues, Akil Bashir from California. He comes out, and he's a military guy. He's been there, done that. And so he comes out and shows us what street work is all about. And there's a certification program for them. When they come out, they're certified. Now they're part of a nation and an international team of certified outreach workers. So that's a beautiful thing for us. We added that to our credentialing for outreach workers. Now, doctors have license, social workers have license. Our outreach workers need to have the credential as well. They need to understand what they do, how they do it, and why they do what they do, so that they can be effective. We don't want outreach workers to just be on the street taking kids around to McDonald's or just hanging out with them. We don't want them to be able to educate those kids, strengthen the families, support them. So we train them how to do those things as well. And that's the national certification program. The next thing that we created along the way to help us is called the Critical Incident Protocol. Now, that's the success of the work that makes the violence prevention work in the sense that when something happened in real time, we call all the outreach workers together, whether it's in person or a conference call, and we say, there's been a stabbing. We need to know what happened. Who got hurt? What's the possibility of retaliation? We scale it, and a scale of 1 to 10, 10 saying that there's going to be somebody who's going to retaliate. How confident is that's going to happen? If it's about 5 or 7, we need to be concerned. Retaliation is inevitable. So what we know about violence over the years, when we could prevent retaliation, we prevent the homicide rate from going up. So we're like a triage hospital when this happened. We just mobilized everybody, and we said, okay, something happened. What do you know? What's his brother's name? What's his sister's name? What's his mother's name? Where does he live? What school does he go to? And then we send the staff out to get those answers that we don't know. And to kind of check the neighborhood out around safety. Is it safe? What's the possibility of retaliation? And they need to come back within 2 hours with ideas, 2 hours at least, with ideas about what it means to keep the neighborhood safe. And is that victim okay in the hospital? Is he safe? Is that perpetrator going to be hit next because we probably know who did it and didn't do it? So we got to protect everybody and make sure that the kids stay safe, and we do not want another child to be buried. When we started this work back in 2002 and 2001, we were doing a lot of burying of kids, okay? That's what's not necessary when we have solutions among us as organizations. So the success of the Critical Incident Protocol is what helped us to curtail the violence. It helped us stay one step ahead of the violence and help educate the families, help educate the school personnel, the resource officers as to what needs to happen. And the other part, the final part of this is family group conferencing. Family group conferencing came out of New Zealand. So there's a long history behind that. But the beauty of family group conferencing is a restorative practice that leads to healing circles. So we use it to kind of restore wholeness to the families. They're broken, they may have lost a child, or the child may be put in jail because of what had happened. So but we need the family who's left behind to go through a healing process. Or the child who has committed a crime and he needs to go through a healing process as well, so that he can let his family know how he felt about what happened. Or the child who's getting in trouble in school all the time, and it always have consequences. We also want to make sure that he and the parents work through the issues. Or in the school system, there have been conflict between two kids, so we could use a healing circle for that. And we talk about what it means to walk in peace, what it means to say I'm sorry. Our kids today do not know how to say I'm sorry. They're like, oh, my bad. It's not, oh, my bad. The word is, I am sorry. I did wrong. And so we have to teach them and train them how to do that. And so we'll create a healing circle where they could talk and be honest with each other about what happened. You stole this, or you hit me, or you look at my girlfriend the wrong way. Okay. You know how that goes? And I don't like that. I'm offended. Say it. Use your words. Express how you feel. And that's what we talk about, helping the kids to have a restorative approach to preventing violence.
Whew.
I know it's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Up next, we have Escaping the Gang. After these messages.
Okay, so we open the circle. The person having the circle always opens it any way they want. So, Preston.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Preston Mills. Thank you guys for coming out. Let me share my story. I know, especially with dealing with the program I just came through, I need to talk to somebody. The class, it preaches and it helps. It definitely is about, it's about your thinking. And I know my way of thinking ain't always been right. So I need to run ideas through people. I need to talk to people, and it's okay. When I got out, I'll give a little story. I got out in November, and my main focus was a job. But when I came to the collaborative, my focus was getting a job and changed because I didn't know, what was my reasoning for not keeping a job. So I got this job, and I'm ready to work it, and I'm focused. So I'm happy that I'm working it, and I'm actually doing something good for a change.
Here we are, escaping the gang. We have two gang members here, Yasina Ortez.
Yes.
And we have Alex Cruz. Welcome, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you for coming and sharing your story with us. It's very important that people see that this is real. It's not made up. It's not a fairy tale. So, could you just share your story? How are you a former gang member? How does that happen when I've been told many times you never get out?
Well, for me, it all started when I was in 8th grade. I was 13, 14 years old. And when I first started, I just started hanging out with a couple of, I guess at the time, I thought they were my friends. And basically, I just started going out. I started hanging out more with them. And I started, my behavior started changing drastically because my parents started noticing. I was very disrespectful. My school, my grades were going down. Everything was changing for me in that time. Then suddenly I just started skipping school, and then the next thing I was already like hanging out and being more involved with the gangs. There was one time I went to a skipping party, and I was exposed to a lot of things in that party.
What? Like what?
I was exposed to drugs. I was exposed to alcohol. There was a lot. It was very dark at that party, and basically you will see girls getting sexually abused. Well, under the influence. And actually, the friend that I actually went with to the party, she disappeared for a moment. They got her drunk, and they put her into a room, and after that I was just,
The gang raped her.
yeah, I was in the little section where I was at, and I just stayed there the whole day.
The whole day?
Yeah, we stayed there since we got there from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And basically half of the school that day skipped school, like majority of the students, and we all got caught. I was actually in trouble, and after that, my parents actually reached out to the school, and then the counselor actually reached out to Collaborative Solution, to Penny.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a lot. I also was exposed to seeing girls getting jumped in the locker room, so, and I was actually involved in that, so it was a lot.
So Alex, I mean, what was your experience being a gang member?
Okay, first of all, I had a few friends. You know, I grew up with them. It starts when, you know, in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You grow up with someone, you care for them, and the next thing you know is that they're in danger. You want to help them, but you think it's right when it's really wrong. So that's how it kind of started for me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a few friends. You know, I won't say the names on here, but I know a few friends. I got together with his friends, the other guy's friends. You know, it kind of just they kind of slowly introduced me into the gang, until the day that they were actually like, "Do you want to be a part of this?" You know, and then they took me to an alley and they just beat me up for a while.
So you were initiated.
Yeah. So I didn't know what I was doing at the moment, you know, and it's kind of a dumb idea. It's true friends don't beat you up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I just started doing bad things. You know, I thought I was cool for it. I was skipping school. I was smoking drugs. I was drinking alcohol. I was carrying weapons. It's something that you wouldn't want a kid to be doing, you know, like a 15-year-old to be doing. I wasn't going to school. I had to be kicked out. I had to be put on probation. I was getting locked up. My family, just as her, they were noticing the changes, and they kept trying to talk me out of it. They would give me advice here and there. But slowly, you know, that's how I got involved in it.
But did you guys want to get involved? I mean, did you have like a burning desire?
I felt like it was right. You know, like I told you, I had friends I grew up with who I cared about.
So
I started
loyalty.
caring about, loyalty. And
Loyalty, and not only that, but it's like at that moment you're like, you know, you want respect, and you're not getting that from your peers or either around you, your surrounding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're actually looking for. That's probably one of the factors. Also, you also seeking for love, because you feel that emptiness, like, you know, I'm having problems at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents are like arguing constantly, telling me you're doing this, you're doing that, but not focusing on what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So from my perspective, I was looking for love. I was looking somewhere where I could fit in and, you know, connect with the people that, you know, I thought at that time they had my back. But it's different factors to why you go to that path and what pushes you to get to that point.
At the end, you just know that you feel right. You feel right where you're at.
Really?
You just...
Even when you're doing wrong, I mean...
Because you're doing wrong with the people you think you're doing it right with.
If that makes perfect sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. But when you're young, you know, you do dumb things.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, because that's that love. You're doing the wrong things with people that you feel right with. And that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
of
making
course,
you feel
and then of course
safe.
Respect too, because you're like, okay, yeah, if I do this, I'm gonna be known. I'm gonna be known for doing this. I'm gonna be viewed as, okay, yeah, I'm gonna respect you. Like, oh, you're doing this, then, you know, let me not mess with her. You know, so it's like it kind of like brings all in back, like in a pit, like all together. But like he said, it doesn't make sense at the end. 'cause
when you step back and take a look at it.
and then you realize, okay, this is not where I'm supposed to be at.
So when did you have that epiphany where it's like, I need to turn my life around? When did you?
For me,
that determining moment.
For me, it was when basically when in that whole year that I did all that in just a school year, me not going to school, skipping school, always getting in trouble, even got expelled from school. Luckily, out of the 15 girls that we got expelled from school, from middle school, it was only 4 of us that returned back to the school, and they gave us a second chance.
Okay.
Regardless of the second chance, I still continue doing the wrong, and I still continue skipping school. But when it clicked to me was when I stayed back and I realized that my friends that were supposed to be my friends were like giving their back on me, and they were looking down on me because I had stayed back.
Oh, wow.
So then I was like, no, this is not for me. It's time for me to change, and I need to like change this quick, because if I continue like this, is either I'm gonna either end up being pregnant or either even dead. So I just changed. And then not only that, I also had Jasmine, that she used to come in. She's my mentor, and to this day she's still with me.
Okay.
And basically she basically just came into school and started meeting with us twice a week and giving us those workshops to help us, change our mindset. So that was another thing that really helped me change my way around.
Who was the defining moment for you?
Me? I probably got locked up a few times.
Okay, you said I probably.
For a long time. But then there's one time I remember being locked up. I was with one of my friends from high school, one of my, gang members. And I remember we were in there, we were having fun. I could see him across the cell. We were throwing things in the toilet, trying to get the,
Sound like class.
Trying to get the guards mad, so they could open the doors, and we could probably try to escape the cell real quick, just for fun. But then we got out after a while. He actually passed away. I saw it as something that if I kept going through, it would happen to me as the same. It would happen to me again.
Did he OD on drugs, alcohol?
No, he got he got shot. Yeah,
okay.
But it's not something I want to talk about. I just lost a few friends actually, so it's not something I want to go back towards. There's a lot of people looking for you when you're in a gang.
Right.
You got to think about it like that. You forget about that.
So I mean, how do you reconcile with yourself? Okay, this is something I have to change my ways. What were your steps in?
Well, I skipped a lot of school, like most people, and I had to be put on probation. One of the main reasons I got locked up a bunch of times was probation, not doing the right things, smoking when you're not supposed to smoke, being out of area, things like that.
Did you have a little box on you?
Yeah, on my ankle, ankle bracelet. So basically, I wanted to get out of that lifestyle. I had a girl that changed me. I had a girlfriend. Okay. I had Jasmine, same mentor right there that came over to every school here and there. She came over to Cardozo a few times. That's when I met her. That's when she got to sit down and talk to me, tell me I had to change, do the right things in life. Told me, it's time to step up and be a man. So I listened to her advice. I listened to my parents' advice, my girlfriend's advice. I listened to my own advice, saying, I was losing friends,
Okay, here's the big question. How did you get out? How did you do that? I mean, either one of you can start, but how did you do that?
Well, for me, I basically I start cutting people away from me. I kind of told them straight up, like, you know, I don't want to be in this anymore. I'm trying to focus on what's going to benefit me. And being in that lifestyle wasn't benefiting me at all. So I just cut people out of my life and focus on what was going to basically benefit me. And then also I did have a strong support system. I had Jasmine, I had Penny, the collaborative, and of course my parents, and also supporting friends that at that time to this day they're still friends, and they have seen like we've grown together. And little by little they stopped talking to me. At first it was rough because they were like kind of like bullying me and saying, oh, you're just a punk, you're doing this, you know, we want to find you, look, we're going to jump you and stuff. But I guess by me having that strong support system, it really didn't scare me at all.
It didn't scare you?
It didn't scare me because I was like, you know, I have people that care for me, and I have people that are standing behind me, making sure that I'm good. And of course my family was there. And not only that, I also wanted to show the difference and show my little sister that, you know, that it's possible. It's nothing impossible here. You can do it. You know, if you put yourself to it and you are determined, you're gonna find the light to that tunnel.
You're gonna find the light.
Yeah.
I like that. So I mean, how
yeah.
did you get out? I mean, she cut people off, but which I know is very difficult because even when you're not in a gang and you have poor influences upon you, it is difficult to get away from them, and some of them could be your relatives.
That too, and not only that, it's like you also gotta build that trust, because then now you're not only working on how to get out, but you gotta regain that trust. You gotta you gotta take that label off you, because you're labeled at something that, oh, she's a gang member or she used to hang with gangs. You have to take that stigma out of you, because it's a stigma. It follows you. But like I said, you gotta work. You gotta keep strong, and you gotta keep that in your mind that that's not the way to go. And like I said, if you have that strong support system, it's gonna help, because you feel that safety. You feel that, like, you know, you can always look back and go back to that people, like to the people, and talk to them.
Okay, so how did you make your way out?
So, you know, I had Jasmine, like I told me to step up, you know, do something with my life. I had goals, you know. Even though you're a gang member, you have goals. You say, I'm going to do this one day. But you don't realize that you're not in the path of doing that. So she actually told me to go to this academy, Capital Guardian Youth Challenge Academy in the National Guard. It's for youth, you know, kids from 16 to 18, something around that age range. They take you through being, you know, what it is to be a well-rounded person, how to be respectful, how to have manners, being nice, you know, not being, you know, such a
pain in the butt,
but, you know, a klutz in life, how to be successful. So it was a lot like, you know, being in the Army. You have to do drill and ceremony. You had to work out. At the same time, they helped you gain your GED.
Okay, so it's a challenge program.
Is that the challenge like program? A boot camp, you know? It was something like that. So, yeah, I went through that. I actually brought one of my cousins with me. So he was a lot of support during the challenge program. It's not something I was in there, you know, I was alone. There was a lot of people that wanted to fight, this and that. You know, I was with him. And, you know, I ignored a lot of ignorance in there, you know.
Okay, so
I actually, you know, went in there. I studied. I mean, you know, I'm a quick learner. I studied. I exercised. I did everything I had to do. I passed the GED with honors. They gave me a scholarship to go to some school, anywhere I want to go. And National Guard wanted to take me on. You know, I got a high ASVAB score. They said I could be anything in the Army. And that, you know, the Air Force wanted to take me on. There's a lot of people that wanted me.
So then you saw value in yourself.
That's
exactly.
You didn't know. I saw the change right there. You know, when I graduated, I saw everything was right. That's the path I had to follow.
So where are you guys today? Before we go to break, where are you today?
So I'm actually working at a doctor's office. I'm a technician, and I do administrative assistant work as well, front desk here and there. But I mainly, help doctors do procedures in the procedure room. We do like epidurals, radio frequency ablations, things that things that relieve pain. When you have something wrong with your spine.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you do that too?
No. I'm actually working at CSC at the collaborative. I'm on staff now. I do administrative work. I've done case management, and it's very ironic how I once had the mentor with me going to my middle school, and now I have done the work as well. I actually go into the schools and I actually do the same thing, the same job or the same work that Jasmine once did to me. Now I do it for the middle school age students, and I'm also doing the different, basically working with the different programs within the collaborative with Penny. And I've graduated from Trinity University. And now I'm actually looking forward to see if I can continue my grad school. Yeah.
So, and that's not ironic, that's destiny. After these messages, we have the mothers that have felt pain.
So let's start now with Penny. And you can tell us what you really like about Preston, what you think his strengths are.
Okay. The confidence he had, and the fact that he was very attentive, and after that was very inquisitive, and you could see some changes in him after we talked about what does it really take to become a barber?
All of us were really impressed with Preston. He had a different kind of presence, and open and receptive. That is all we ask of our students, to be ready to hear a new idea. And
Preston is just amazing, and that's not, because I'm married to you. It's he, like I said, he has the qualities that, as little girls, when we're growing up and mom's talking to us, all those qualities are, all the things mom tells you. Oh, you want a dependable guy. You want a trustworthy guy. You want a guy that's going to be a good father. You want a provider. He is all those things that your mom tells you about when growing up.
Okay, so do you want to read what Maya, what your daughter said she likes about him?
She said he's a very strong, hard worker. I like that he is funny and tries to be around and relate to the things that are going on in my life. And you kind of got to remember this is a 15-year-old girl at this moment. So, coming home and, she was 8 when he left and she's 15 now. It's a big difference for both of them. And, just trying to relate to where she is now instead of that 8-year-old Amaya when he left. So.
What do you need to do to maintain good emotional health?
Say my relationship with God.
Okay, so maintain your relationship with God.
Prayer.
Okay, prayer. How often do you pray?
Well, I pray daily.
Pray daily. Okay, what else to maintain good emotional health do you need to do, Preston?
I say my relationship with my kids.
Your relationship with your kids. What about it?
It's my relationship with them is important. It's important to me.
Okay.
I think for the emotional, just having a healthy relationship with them, I think I'm gonna have a healthy emotional relationship.
And what do you need to do to maintain a healthy emotional relationship with your kids? What do you need to do?
Just give them time, communicate and listen with them.
Listen to your children.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your vision? How do you see your future different from your past? What are your goals, Preston?
I would like to, the first thing that I want to do, I want to go back and I really, really, really want to get this barber degree.
Get a barber degree.
Yeah, I can cut. I'm good. You would think that I'm working in somebody's barbershop now. That's what I want to do. So that's a part of my goal. That's a part of my vision. my kids is always a goal. You know, make things better with them. To see them grow up, to be something different, to get them back. You know, I be sitting there and I cut my youngest hair. You know, I'm telling him, well, look, this, you gotta go up on the clippers like this. And he say, Dad, you done yet? And I said, nah, I'm not done yet. You know, so I want to give him something different that, you know, I didn't have growing up. You know, so my goal is to let my kids know that they can have different. You know, show them different, so that they will want different.
And we're back. As you can see, we have the whole We Are CSC right here in front of you, but we want to focus on Lolita Griffin. She is a mom, and I want to bring the mic closer to you so they can hear you well.
Okay.
So just talk about your experience and the pain you felt as a mother.
First, I want to say thanks for having me here. The pain I felt as a mom is, number one, I was that mom in
fix this for me. Go ahead.
In a community where you always, you know, ask that question to yourself, or always repeated that one question to yourself, that I don't want to ever have to bury a child, or if something happened to, you know, my child, I would do this, I would go crazy, I would try to hurt somebody, and I was that parent. And I did lose it. I did see, witness darkness. I had to, witness the pain of seeing my son lay on the ground for hours. And it was just really unreal to me, because I didn't think in a million years, like I said, I was that parent who said, no, this would never happen to me. I would never, ever had to really feel that type of pain, but I did. I had to see. When you can actually see pain, that's really pain. Sometimes pain is a feeling, but when you can actually see the pain, it's really, really deep. It hits you hard. It cuts through your heart like a blade.
So you lost your son to gang violence.
Later on, my son was actually killed by Metropolitan Police, and as the stories goes on, he was actually trying to protect a friend who was a part of a gang, and he lost his life trying to protect a friend. That was doing a lot of gang-related activity, and just before that time, he decided that he didn't want to continue to be the mediator, and he tried to influence, try to be a positive influence on his friends to try to travel down a road that he was trying to do, So he paid a big price for his life that night. He didn't expect it, but he really paid a big price for his actions.
So talk about your mom's group.
Okay.
Because you turned your pain into something positive.
Exactly. Still Standing, formerly known as Crossing the Lines, was formed by another outreach worker that used to work here at CSC. Amazing bunch of guys who just really was in the community and was seeing the pain that us mother that we was going through, having to bury kids on a regular basis, was just a bunch of guys who realized that, wow, we can get up all this money to bury kids, but it's hard to get money to send kids to college, so and to happen to live and work in a community where your children can't even cross the street or can't even go to the school that they want to, because they have to travel through the neighborhoods where they call so-called beefs. So how do I get to school? How do I even want to go to school? How do I even want employment? How do I even want to really dream when I can't even dream across the street?
You know, and that's how the name came about of being crossing the lines. Our kids couldn't even cross the lines to find their own destiny, to follow their own dreams.
So what do you do with the moms? How do you connect with the mothers?
Okay, through working with CSC and doing a lot of case management and working with families, we connect with a lot of families. Every family has a story. So what Still Standing do is we reach out to parents who is suffering, who find it hard to walk their walk, find it hard to get up in the morning, find it hard to actually take a bath sometimes.
Wow.
I mean, just really find it hard to really connect with the world and value their self again. You know, they find it really, really hard, like they really live in the pain. So what we do is we provide spiritual support to let them know, you know, we're here. We didn't walk down that walk with you. We didn't been there. And you're not alone. We want them to know that you're not alone. You know, the most that we can do is provide that loving and mom and even dad support, you know, because they're not traveling this road alone. And it's just really sad that we are the rememberers, you know, and we have to wear the T-shirts. We have to light the candles. But sometimes the rememberers are the ones who are forgotten, because we're left here and we have to deal with this pain, you know, and we have to celebrate the ones that's on the T-shirts. But what about us moms? You know what I mean? Like, we the one have to wake up every day without that child that we gave birth to, that, you know, we tucked in bed, and we have to live with the fact that we tucked them again in a casket. So, you know, it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard to overcome such pain as a mom, because you was taught and you was brought up that your kid's supposed to bury you,
right,
and not you burying them. But it's just become so normal in some communities that, you know, candlelight vigils and things of that nature is just so normal. And I just really wanted to stop. But what can I do but to provide that extra love and support for the parents, and just let them know that you're not alone. You know?
Definitely, but you're definitely not alone. You have your CSC family
absolutely,
right here.
Absolutely.
And now that we're in this circle, we all have our own little circle going on here. So of healing, okay? So you all, what makes this model so effective? And make sure you say your name so everyone knows who's talking to them.
What makes it, Tanya? Yeah. What makes the model effective to you?
What makes the model effective
Tanya.
is because, I'm sorry, I'm Tanya Pickett. What makes the model so effective to me is because when I meet the guys on the street, now I go out there when the homicide occurs, so I meet parents on the worst day of their life. But what makes the model so good to me is I meet the young guys and I talk about their dreams, and we discuss what would their dreams look like. Instead of talking about the negative things that's going on, we talk about their dreams and what needs to happen for that dream to come true. So that's why I think that this model is so successful, because we do come from a strength base. And we just keep asking, what else? What else? Allowing them just to dream their impossible dream. What else? What else? So if you can dream big, you can become something more than what your surroundings are.
Definitely.
I think a lot of what has gone into this work over the years is that we believe people can change. You may be a gangbanger today, you may end up in jail, but that may be where you need to be for the moment. And when you come out, we still believe you can change. And so this uncanny hope, just hoping for something to click. And we know it clicks. We just don't know when it's going to connect with that young person to stop. But what we know about our work is that we cannot give up. Somebody get frustrated and going like, you know what, forget this case. We are not dealing with this family anymore. I'm done. I'm so done. We've been down here before. We have paid for this. We paid the rent 4 times. We're done.
You said
right?
4 times. I want 4 times.
So we're done. But then the staff goes, Penny, this is the time we may not pay the rent, and what will happen? And then my guilt goes, oh my God, what if something happens, right? So you can't stop. You never know when change will take place.
Right.
So you have to keep, like a parent, you have to keep going at it over and over. So I think the compassion, the stick-to-itiveness of what we do, the tenacity, the commitment, and the love I think the staff have for this work. Because I can't do it. They're the one they're actually with the families every day. The love that they have for the families is what makes this work.
You know, and to hear Tanya, she said, I see those mothers, those families on the worst day of their life. So you are hitting the pavement for real.
Yes. We are actually, when somebody passes away, unfortunately, we're in the home with them. We're holding them. And we at the same time, we want to make sure that we bring healing as quickly as possible. We want to make sure that the other son doesn't get killed. You know, he may be mad. I'm going to find who killed my brother. We have to deal with that young son saying, no, no, no. Take him out of the neighborhood. Take him somewhere in Maryland. Let him go karting or do something to get that negative energy and that pain out of him as much as he can for that moment, so he could stop and think. Because with this one son being gone, we have another son coming up, and we don't want him gone either.
Right.
You know, so we got to make sure we protect the family as much as possible.
You know, and we're running out of time, but I have to ask this question: what type of person do you go after to be these workers on the street changing these lives?
Well, for me,
who are you looking for? We want you.
I'm looking for people who love to work hard.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And is willing to be trained and to gain an experience that I'm a social worker. I'm supposed to be in a private office making money. I'm not doing that, obviously, right? So, you know, this has transformed me. I don't know, it's transformed me over the years, over and over. Hope is very big on my thing. Hope is possible. So we're looking for people with hope, with passion, who believe that change can take place, who believe that people can change, and who will hang in there in the worst times and just say to the family, I believe in you. I believe in you. People who really want to make a difference. And it's not a 9-to-5 job, and it's not according to your schedule. It's when the family wants you, they call on you, you have to respond. It's like your real family you're trying to protect. You got to think about it that way. So this gang balance thing is not 9 to 5. It's whenever they're called, you show up and you respond. So that's the kind of people we're looking for. People who come and well, I'm tired. Well, I'm tired too. So at the end of the day, we can't leave this family unattended. Well, I need to have a personal life. Well, go away and have a personal life. But I can't leave this family unattended, so you wouldn't have a job. No.
Exactly. Got to find someone else, right?
But the bottom line, you really, 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 really want people who are compassionate.